The following is a live sports event featuring the Abernathy Antelopes or Lady Lopes. This broadcast is a presentation of the Abernathy Sports Network and may not be altered or used in its entirety without the written consent from the Abernathy Sports Network. Today's broadcast is made possible by the fine supporters: MC Master Roofing and Construction, South Plains Auto Ranch, Clark Riley Insurance, April Funeral Home and Flower Shop, First Baptist Church, JC's Refrigeration, Storm Guard, Plains Land Bank, Nutrient Ag Solutions, the Junkin Farmers Market, MZJ Variety Shop, Shallowater, Rooted Revival Hair Salon, Chance Rocha, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Code 3 Soda Shop and Meat Market, Lasso Electric, Webb Vision Center, Hill Vet, WTX Diesel, West Texas Brick and Stone, Rural Roots Medical Clinic, the Farmers Cooperative Compress, First State Bank, DB Media, Ty Horsford Realtor. Again, thank you for tuning in tonight's live sports event. It will begin shortly.
Quarter. There's an empty backfield looking to throw. Wiley swings it out over to the far side. Lots of room. 10-5 touchdown. Coming up. There's the snap. Another handoff underneath. And the first one there behind the line of scrimmage is number 50, Dyson Garcia. Sideline. Faking that. That's actually the snap to Micheletti. Micheletti takes off. He may have his second touchdown of the night. And he does! Colt Micheletti from 28 yards. Highly three-receiver set. There's Rolando in motion. He gets the pick, and he hits the hole hard. He's into the red zone. He's carrying tacklers. He's Superman into the end zone. Rolando Martinez on the second. And good evening, Abernathy, Texas, and good evening, fans of the Abernathy Antelopes and Lady Lopes. Welcome inside the Outside the Box studios for another enthralling edition of Outside the Box. I'm Ty Horsford, voice of the Antelopes, alongside that other guy, Chance Rocha, sporting the pink hat for Pinktober here as we are a couple of week and a half or so into the month of October, and he's our campuses are celebrating by wearing pink all month, and so are you, Chance. So well done, my friend.
Yep, it's Pinktober. All the kids are supposed to wear pink every Wednesday, and then Friday's pep rally, it's pink out. So
my son Barrett, he basically is just wearing the same pink shirt every day that you're supposed to wear pink because that's all he's got. But hey,
Crew has two, so I know the struggle. It's not a big thing for the boys' wardrobe, that's for sure.
And then Parker, she's got all the pink. So, anyways, welcome into the Outside the Box studio. Glad you're with us for another Wednesday night, Chance. Feels like we haven't played football in an eternity. Coming off of the bye week, we'll get into some of that here in just a little bit as we get ready for district play, as the New Home Leopards loom large on Friday night, as you're going to open up district play with them. But before that, let's take a look around AISD. As next week, we expect to be live from Code 3 for the second time this year. So 6 o'clock, not 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock next Wednesday. I would love to see you live and in person. Come have a salad, a sandwich, a drink of your choice, and hang out with us from 6 to 7 at Code 3 next Friday night prior to our matchup with New Deal. And Chance, we were just talking off air. It feels like the last few weeks have been a blur as things just happening very fast. Hard to believe, but the youth flag football season here in Abernathy is wrapping up on Saturday. Yep. Again, the youngsters here in Abernathy compete in a flag football league hosted by Idalou. Most of the games have been played at Idalou. A few here and there here in A-Town, but I think overall, kids have had fun. It's been a good experience. Lots of kids from Idalou play flag football as they've got teams running out their rears over there in Idalou. But nonetheless, we've had some teams go over there and be competitive and do well. And again, just kind of getting their feet wet with football, and it's always a fun thing. I feel like these kids are from football to basketball to baseball to softball to all the things. But it's been a good flag football season, I think.
It definitely has been, and it's one of those things where, like you said, getting those kids exposure. They have the tackle league that they try to bring in, and it's just hard to transition that, Ty. And with these kids being as young as they are, tackle just seems like it's a little too early for my taste. Some parents do it. More power to you. That's just something that I don't know if I'm ready for that just yet. But I enjoy the flag league. It's super fun. Our team has been on the struggle bus this year, but our boys are having fun, and I know they're enjoying it, and that's what it's really about, getting them to grow the sport, enjoy the sport, and continue to come back year after year as they grow. And, you never know. A kid in second or third grade may not be that great, but then they get in fifth and sixth grade, and they kind of pop, and their talent develops. And
for sure.
So that's exciting. And as the Flag Football League kind of finishes up, we're having a football tournament, the Battle of the Flags. It's going to be hosted by the Abernathy Junior Basketball League. That's going to be on October 18th. And depending on how many teams sign up, schedule and all that time to be determined. I believe the deadline is October 10th to sign up. You can sign up a full team for $150, and that's first through sixth grade. Boys and girls can play, and just go to the Abernathy Junior Basketball Facebook page for more information on that. So $150 per team, or $20 per kid if you want to be a free agent. So
and all of that money goes to support the Abernathy Junior Basketball League. We're going to be talking about that here pretty quick, because that season is just right around the corner. And Chance, it was the week for the Ag kids here in Abernathy, and that's always exciting, because we've got a huge number of students that participate in FFA and 4-H, and a lot of that obviously is in the show ring, but a lot of it is outside of the show ring, and that's the case this last week, as at the high school level, I had some FFA students go to the Texas Tech Fall Invitational and compete in a meat judging contest. And if you're going to do that, I would say Texas Tech is the place to do that. They're the world's best. And as a team, the group of Abernathy students placed fourth, and Mason Hart was the 10th high individual in that competition, so shout out to him. And then another group of 8 students made a quick trip to the state fair in Dallas. The high school students did, 8 high school students, and competed in the FFA science fair. Mason Hart was a busy guy, as he was also there, and he placed third overall, while Estella Carrasco placed fourth. And the team represented Abernathy very well. But, Chance, there was some middle schoolers that got in on the FFA and 4-H action as well.
They did, yeah. Berkeley Shiner, she competed in the science fair, also at the state fair in Dallas, and ended up bringing home the overall championship in that. And so just congrats to them. And that just goes to, Ty, we talk about it, like the ability for these kids to have opportunity, whether it's FFA, Ag, 4-H, all the different things that are going on, and we didn't even talk about it this past weekend. It was a Purple Banner Bash, and they had that big bash to kind of honor those kids and bring money into those programs, and it's for them to be able to do the things like this and go to those competitions and compete and bring in new things. And I know when I was growing up, if you were in Ag, it was like you learned to weld or show an animal and do the creed speech.
But now,
that was really it. So
now you can do all the things. And I'm telling you what, if you're wanting scholarships, forget athletics. Go the route of Ag and 4-H and FFA.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying there's a lot more opportunity at the Ag level than athletics, for sure.
There can be, for sure, and just the vast majority of it, and diversity of it. And then, another thing we talk about, not only are these giving them the opportunity to be experienced, whether it's meat judging or ag science or welding or whatever it may be, but those ag students and the things they teach them, from respect and responsibility and how to speak in front of others, and how
that's
to lead
a lost art today. It absolutely is,
and how to do all those things. So kudos to those ag kids. Keep it up. I know that's just getting started for them, because they continue to go on as showing season starts and all the fun things, for sure.
And switching gears just a little bit, Chance, during the month of October, not only raising awareness for breast cancer across our campuses and community, our Abernathy Middle School, and really our middle school students, Chance, I feel like set the bar for service in the community for our school district. Is they're just really teaching these kids how to care and serve your community. The Middle School Student Council is collecting new socks. Don't take your used socks, but new socks. New socks. Say that 5 times fast. And those that are donated are going to be taken to the Love Shack here in Abernathy, and then Lubbock Impact, which is an organization that our middle school students have become very involved with as well. So that's kind of a cool thing as well.
For sure. And then Ty, kind of switching over to the Abernathy elementary side of things. And we talked about it earlier on and Outside the Box and a few episodes ago, where they're having their elementary houses. You know, they have different colors. The colors mean different things, from responsibility to caring and all the different stuff. So they're actually having their first little event where they'll be together with their house, whether it's red, yellow, or whatever it may be. And so they're going to be doing that tomorrow. So reminder to those parents, make sure you wear your house color to school tomorrow. And then also Tide Elementary, Miss Riley, they had their 3rd grade program this afternoon, and it was a fun one. You mentioned it earlier.
It was a circus.
It was a circus. There was clowns and monkeys and popcorn and all the things, and just seeing those kids have fun. And you know, my son has been singing those songs since they've been learning them, and you know, I left the thing and I had some of those circus songs stuck in my head as well. Yeah,
we were singing those off the air, and my daughter was earlier as well. But opposite of Crew, Chance, my daughter thinks everything has to be a surprise. And so literally last night at the dinner table, she goes, Dad, I've got one of our songs in my head, but I can't sing it because I don't want you to know it. And so, but again, those kids had a great time with that. And just an opportunity to get to bring in parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and siblings to see them perform. It's always a fun time for sure.
It for sure was, and kudos to all those kids, man. Some of those kids had some hard lines to memorize, and they did a heck of a job memorizing online. Hey, Parker did good.
She did. She had a little speaking part, and she ate that up. The person in front of her forgot to turn the microphone on, so I don't know if anybody heard her or not. But I was on the front row, so I did. But no, again, Miss Riley, this is her first year in Abernathy. She's doing a great job with the music program. And then Chance, you know, I know you drop your kids off a lot in the morning at the elementary school. I do as well. But just almost every other day, it feels like there is, whether it's the football team or volleyball players or student council or somebody is out there with your principals and your superintendent greeting students. And I think that just continues. I love seeing that because there's music playing, there's excitement. Culture. It's, hey, we're happy to be at school. We're all in this together. And it just creates a really, like you said, culture. And I think that's very evident when you see stuff like that.
It for sure is. And, you know, they've tried to do that. I think it's almost every home game day. Those volleyball girls are out there. Fridays, the football boys are out there. Today, student council is out there selling things, wristbands to raise money for the breast cancer awareness and Pinktober and all the things. And so just having that culture and kids being excited and gives my kids a reason to ask me for $1 getting out of the car, whether it's a tattoo or a bracelet.
Or wear a hat to support something or something.
So, but like I said, culture and doing all the things for the community for sure. It's definitely fun.
So that is a look around Abernathy ISD. Let's take a quick timeout. Thank a couple of our sponsors, Chance, and we will come back and dive into this week in sports. There was no football. Well, there was junior high, but lots of exciting things to talk about in cross country and volleyball. So stick with us.
At JC's Refrigeration, there's no job too big or too small for our professionals to handle. We offer a full scale of HVAC services for your home or business, and you'll always be greeted with a smile. Located at 1606 North University Avenue in Lubbock. We are locally owned and are proud to support our Abernathy Lady Lopes and Antelopes. Next time you have an HVAC need or a project, give JC's a call at 806-744-9855.
At Nutrien Ag Solutions, we are proud to be known as the ag retailer of the future and are committed to helping growers meet their full potential. We consistently provide the best performing chemical, fertilizer, and seed products, financing programs, and second-to-none technology. With 6 locations nearby, Nutrien Ag Solutions is ready to serve you with all of your agricultural needs. David Carver and his team are thankful for the customers who continue to trust Nutrien with their business. We are wishing the Antelopes and Lady Lopes an incredible and blessed year.
But that was in that tournament, right?
And welcome back to Outside the Box here inside the Outside the Box studios. Ty Horsford, Chance Rocha back with you as we dive into this week in sports around the community of Abernathy, Chance. And there was not much football to talk about over the last week, but
plenty of excitement.
That allowed cross country and volleyball to take center stage. And did they ever? As cross country, we told you last week that they would be running in their district cross country meet on Monday. It was a beautiful day for that. Wasn't too hot out at May Simmons in Lubbock in front of a big crowd, Chance. And no pun intended, the JV and varsity girls teams absolutely ran away with the competition at the district cross-country meet, as both of those teams easily took home the team championship. The varsity girls will move on as a team to the regional cross-country meet. I know Coach Carlisle is extremely excited for those girls. And then on the boys' side, Chance, Kingston Awful, he placed second overall as an individual, so that allows him to advance to regionals on the boys' side. There's not enough boys that run to have a team, but Chance, individually for the girls, in both JV and varsity, you take first and second overall. Gabby Cruz, she's just been crushing it all year long. Your individual district cross-country champion, Bree Shorter, right behind her, second place overall individual at the high school or at the varsity level. And then on the junior high or JV side, rather, Chance, Lexi Brashears, we've said her name almost every week for the junior JV squad. She was your individual JV cross-country champion, while Ariane Hinojosa came in second place in the JV girls race as well. And the regional meet, going to have lots of runners there, Chance. It'll be October 20th. Right back at May Simmons Park. So make plans to go out and support those girls and guy.
You know what? I was there at the meet. It was a beautiful day, like you said. It actually started sprinkling a little bit towards the end of the varsity girls running. But one thing that I loved, not only did you go out there and compete, you ran hard, but as we're there, I get there a little bit early. As the girls are about to start running, the varsity girls did. Here comes Jagger Wiley, Dre Minfield, Brandon Stafford, all these varsity football boys coming out to support.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they came out on their lunch break, were able to get a little bit extra time, come out there and support. They had, those fathead pictures of the girls, and we're out there cheering them on. And I just think that it goes back to culture. It goes back to encouraging that type of winning mentality and say, hey, y'all support us on Friday nights. We're going to come out and support you. So I just thought that was really cool.
And I can guarantee you they'll probably be at the UIL band contest as well. You always see that as well. So just students supporting students, you love to see it. Absolutely. And then Chance, on the volleyball court, junior high was in action. As the 8th grade, they won a road game on Monday at Olton. Unfortunately, the 7th grade fell short in their first match of the season, kind of broke their winning streak as Olton protected the home court in the 7th grade match, and Olton knocked off the Lady Lopes. But Chance, how about the Abernathy varsity Lady Lope volleyball team? We were excited last week. They got that first district win in program history, and then all of a sudden, they're red hot. Those girls are flat out playing. You follow that up with a 5-set win on Saturday against Tahoka.
Let's go.
That was another district ball game. And then you kind of start the second round of district last night. You play Plains here at home, where Chance Plains, they're kind of running away with the district. They're undefeated. They've only lost one set all season long in district play. and you take the Cowgirls to 5 sets. You beat them twice, and you fall 3-2. I think the score in that last set was 15-10. Plains got the win, but man, these volleyball girls, they've hit a stride, and they're playing really, really well with some confidence.
Yeah, they're playing really well with some confidence. They competed really well against Plains. The JV team actually beats Plains on Tuesday night, so that just shows you just what we have coming up and just how that program's continuing to grow. And, it's not just us taking notice. Lubbock AJ was actually at that game against Plains, and they had a decent little article written up just talking about how Plains had to face some adversity that they haven't faced, and it was due to those Abernathy Lady Lopes out there putting it on them. They came up short tie, but that's still a big confidence booster against a tough Plains team for sure.
And if Chance, don't look now, but if this volleyball team can sneak a couple of more, 2 or 3 more wins against the likes of maybe an Olton. I know you've got to beat Olton.
Yep.
And then if you could knock off like a Ropes or somebody like that, you've got an opportunity for this volleyball team to sneak into the postseason, which would be a lot of fun in just your second varsity season ever. So lots of good things happening.
Let's go do it, Ty.
On the volleyball side. And then Chance, the lone football happened last Thursday night as JV varsity was off. The 7th and 8th graders took an opportunity to play, and they took on Ropes here in Abernathy last Thursday night. And you got to split. The 8th grade wins big, 32-0. They kind of got that losing taste out of their mouth. And for the 3rd straight game, the 7th grade, they felt short to Ropes. It was a little bit closer. The game was more competitive, but Ropes got the win in the 7th grade.
Yeah, and that's tough. And we kind of talked about that 7th grade year. It's tough. You're trying to find your identity, trying to find your leaders, and trying to just growing. But I think that those boys getting that extra game is important, and they still have a shot. They got plenty of games coming up, all those district games, and so hopefully they can battle back and get some victories as we go into district play for those 7th graders. And I'm glad those 8th graders were able to get back on track and get back to their winning ways. They're going to be up again. They're going to be heading to New Home on Thursday. The junior high will be, and then JV will be in action here in Abernathy.
And Chance, I know your daughter is a part of the flag corps, the color guard that's associated with the band. They're getting ready for their first festival coming up this weekend.
Yep, coming up at Lowry Field on Saturday. The Westerner, I believe, Lubbock High is hosting it, but it will be at Lowry Field, and I think performances start at 6:30, I believe, or that
I think
maybe
that's
when
right.
theirs is. I think
they're probably all day, but I think Abernathy's that evening. Yeah,
evening at 6:30. So. Like you said, hopefully I'm sure those football boys and a bunch of them will be out there cheering on the color guard team, the twirlers, and the band. And if you haven't gone out, they got a pretty cool show this year.
Absolutely. Chance, how about let's take one more quick timeout, and then we will come back and we will talk some football as we get ready for the New Home Leopards. We'll also hear from Jagger Wiley and Dre Minfield on the other side of the break. Stick with us.
Plains Land Bank has specialized in financing rural property for over 100 years. We are passionate about agriculture and want to see producers be successful. Your land is more than your livelihood. It's your legacy. Let us help you own a piece of Texas today. Come give us a visit at our Plainview office. We are proud supporters of all of our local high school student athletes.
DB Media specializes in all things audio, video, and lighting. From designs and installs tailored to your commercial application, to concerts and corporate events, and even studio recording and mixing for bands and artists, DB Media has you covered. DB Media is a proud supporter of the Abernathy Antelopes and Lady Lopes this season. And welcome back here inside the Outside the Box studio as we hit one of our favorite segments of the show as we get to preview the upcoming football game. And it is a big one, Chance. The district opener, and you're not starting off with a slouch. You've got the New Home Leopards on the road on Friday night, 7 o'clock. From New Home. We'll have the broadcast beginning about 6:45. Hope you'll tune us in for that one. And Chance, you're playing a New Home team that I think coming into the year Lots of people thought it would be a rebuilding year for New Home. That's not really been the case. They're one of the top teams in the area. They've won 4 straight games. And really, as you look around, pretty much every prognosticator has New Home a touchdown or so favorite in this one.
Yeah, they got New Home a touchdown or so favorite, and I think that's due to their 6 string of consecutive wins. But when you kind of look back at it, we do have that one lone loss. It's a game that really you had in your grasp, literally in your grasp. It could have walked away with it, and that's a Littleville team that everybody's high on.
Littlefield turned the lights out on you.
Yeah, because they haven't lost. And so on paper, New Home looks really hot. But we are, if you have seen
we're playing well as well.
We've played very well. Our defensive has played very, very strong. Our offense is kind of clicking on cylinders. You do have injuries. You had faced some adversity, Ty. But kind of going into it, I kind of want to go kind of over some district history, Ty. We talked about
this. Really kind of surprised me. You're our historian. Anything you hear history wise, this guy comes up with right here. But you kind of took. I kind of was taken aback a little bit about some of this.
And I think that it's due to, obviously it goes all the way back to the 20s. But you enter the 2025 football season, you're looking for your 29th playoff appearance, and it'll be 16 straight if you do. You've made it the playoffs every year since 2010, so this will be our 16th straight if you go into the playoffs. Abernathy has won the district championship 20 times in school history, 17 times outright, and 3 times you've shared the title. So you're looking to make it 21, Ty. And that number, when you look at it, is, like you said, it seems very high, but 7 of those, I believe, have been since 2010. Mm-hmm. Darrell Daly had a good history of it. Justin Wiley's brought one home as well in the past few years. And so that's another one that, we finished either runner-up or champion since 2010, essentially. I think you finished 3rd one other time. But that's just something that it motivates you. Winning the district championship, obviously, is the goal. And then the next goal would be playoffs, obviously.
Absolutely.
But I think you are correct. On paper, New Home looks like they're the team to beat right now, with Post dropping that tough game to Farwell. But you're going to learn a lot this week with us facing New Home and New Deal facing Post right off the bat.
And we'll get into projections and predictions and all that here in just a little bit. But I think this is a game chance that you and I both agree. I don't think we would be surprised at any outcome. I could see it lopsided one way or the other. I could see it close one way or the other. I really don't know what to expect come Friday at New Home. But the Leopards, we mentioned, chance 4-1. Their lone loss coming in the season opener against a very, very good larger school in the Lubbock Cooper Liberty Patriots. But since then, they turned some heads the next week with a 28-14 win over Ropes, a game that Ropes was probably favored in. They went on the road and took it to Muleshoe 34-14. Muleshoe's been kind of a hit or miss team. Denver City's weak. They put it on Denver City. Roscoe's weak. They put it on Roscoe. So Leopards are 4-1 on the season chance, and we'll talk some about this matchup. But before we do, let's let you hear from the guys themselves. We caught up with Abernathy starting quarterback Jagger Wiley, along with Dre Minfield. He's a receiver, does a lot for you on both sides of the ball. We caught up with those guys to kind of preview the Leopards just a little bit, and here's what they had to say. And another episode of Outside the Box here. We are with Jagger Wiley and Dre Minfield. Guys, thanks so much for taking just a couple minutes. Obviously, we're wrapping up. You've wrapped up non-district, getting ready to start district with New Home this coming Friday night. Kind of as you get ready for that, you're putting in game prep for New Home. What does that look like? What are you expecting when you go to New Home on Friday night?
We had a really good week of practice. We just keep working our butts off. We've dealt with injuries and all that, but just keep grinding, keep getting better every day, and just got to play hard.
Yeah. What about you, Dre?
Yeah, I think we had a good week of practice too. Just going to New Home, playing a physical team. I think it'll be a pretty good game with all we have right now.
What do you think it's going to take to be successful against New Home? What are some keys to the game for you guys?
Just firing off the ball every play, starting off early, get some points on the board early, and just get some big stops, big plays.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Jagger? What's it going to take to beat New Home on Friday?
Defensively, we got to stop the run. That's New Home. They're going to do that. They're going to run the ball. And then offense, we got to stay productive. You know, we take a break every once in a while because we get up, but we got to keep our foot on the pedal and just keep going.
Yeah. Obviously, Jagger, you talked about y'all dealt with some injuries and some adversity and lots of different things. Kind of what have you learned about this team through the first 5 games and kind of how that's prepared you for district?
I think we handle adversity really well. I mean, we've had multiple guys go out within games. It's 2 a game or whatever. I think we have, 6 hurt right now? And we keep playing. I mean, it's Abernathy football. You got to always play hard, never give up, just things like that. The little things, the traditions, all that.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Dre?
What was it?
Well, you're good. What have you learned kind of about this team through the first 5 games going into district play?
Everybody's ready, you know. Got some injured, people are ready to come play hard and just give it all they got. That's what we need.
Awesome. Well, good luck Friday night, guys, and let's go beat New Home.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And welcome back here into the Outside the Box studio. Shout out to Dre and Jagger for chatting with us. And Chance, I think what you heard from them, kind of the consensus, control what you can control.
Yep.
Fire off the ball, be consistent, you know. And I think Jagger made a good point when he said, at times we've been really, really good on offense, but then maybe we get a lead and we get kind of stagnant and allow the other team to get back in it or this or that or the other. You're not going to be able to do that against New Home. You're going to have to put 4 quarters together, I think, and play really, really well in a tough environment on the road. But again, so oftentimes this game comes down to control what you can control. Don't turn the ball over. Don't commit silly penalties. Be consistent on offense. And he talked about stopping the run on defense as well.
Yeah, and I would agree with them. I think that just both of them talked about the physicality of it and being able to stay within the game and go play by play, call by call, and whatever it may be, whether it's on offense or defense. But I did like the fact that one of your leaders, Jagger Wiley, did mention that, like, we've been up big and then kind of made some mistakes on defense or kind of stopped hitting the gas on offense. And he was like, we got to play a complete game and keep pushing for that tie. And I think that, you know, I talked to one of our principals, Mr. Cash Fortune. I said, hey, I need what would you say? He coaches those big guys up front. He's one of the coaches out there with them. And I said, hey, what would be something that y'all have been kind of preaching this week? And he said, be tough and be physical. He said if those guys up front can be tougher than New Home and can be more physical with them and they control the line of scrimmage up front, then he sees us being successful on Friday night. And they've been preaching that all week, he said. So
yeah, absolutely. And Chance, New Home, they've got a new offensive coordinator, and he's put in a new offense. I think that's a reason that a lot of people thought it might be a rebuilding year for them, but kind of more of a power option, triple option, power option type running attack, which can be difficult to defend. It's not something you see a whole lot of, which if there's anything that concerns you, maybe that's one of the things that does.
Yeah, for sure. And very Roosevelt-esque. And you know, we had that battle, I believe it was 2021, 2022 with Roosevelt when Jess Hull's a quarterback. And, you know, your 2 losses on that year were to Roosevelt. One in the district, so you finished runner-up in district, and one in the regional finals there at the Jones. And I think that it's not something that's very extravagant, but you're not going to play that maybe once a year, maybe once every other year.
Yep.
And so it is just something that is so unique.
And it's hard to defend.
There's a lot of keys, and I remember, you know, when we played that Roosevelt team, what hurt us, we were able to stop the run. But the little things that hurt us were you'd stop the run, and then they'd sneak the tight end out, and they'd go over the top for a 40-yard gain or a 40-yard touchdown because everybody's coming downhill and trying to watch that run. And that's something for sure that we're going to have to keep an eye on, Ty, because if we can control the line of scrimmage up front, they're not built to score quickly. And I say that also to say they scored quickly against Roscoe in their last game.
And then just kind of ran out the clock.
And then they ran out the clock. And we talked about them being run heavy. They had, overall, I think they rushed the ball 23 times. They only passed the ball 8 times, Ty.
Mm-hmm. But they completed 6. They were very, very accurate.
Yeah, very accurate. 6 of 8 for 123 yards was quarterback Brayson Beck. He's kind of the lead the way. He had 9 rushes for 43 yards. And then kind of their go-to guy, it sounds like, at least for the Roscoe game, was Lincoln Preston, one of their running backs. 3 carries for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Touchdowns of 73 yards and 62 yards on the ground. also he had one catch for 51 yards and a touchdown. So they hit you with the big play, but
it's like you said, they lull you to sleep. Boom, 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 boom. Big play.
Yep. And so, he has two of his carries were over 60 yards, and that's just 2 of the 23 carries. And so the rest of them were little short, little bitty dinkers. And, besides him, they did have another running back, Hayden Reyna. He rushed the ball 5 times for 22 yards. And then you had a handful of different guys in there that had 1 or 2 carries as well. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
And their leading receiver, Parker Lyles, he had 4 catches for 60 yards. And then we all remember Mr. Kobe Cook.
There's only one of them, though.
There's only one of them, and you can just see the difference in the offense. Last year, Kobe was one of their leading receivers. He'd probably have 4 or 5 catches a game. He only had 1 catch this past week, and him and Cade Campbell both had 1 apiece. And they're, like I said, when you're only throwing the ball maybe 8 to 10 times a game, they can do it enough to keep you honest, but that's not going to be their bread and butter. They're definitely going to try to pound the rock 25 to 30 times.
Well, and you're going to have contrasting offenses. You're going to have a new home team that pounds it, that runs it. You've got a hope chance, because I think if you're going to win, it's going to be through the air.
Yeah.
Abernathy's going to have to throw the ball around some. Expect them to throw it probably 25 plus times in the ball game. I think Jagger's going to have a big day. I think Caden Bird's going to have a big day. Guys like Minfield or Duval, they're going to have to step up and have a big game in the receiving core as well. And so you're going to see Abernathy throw it a lot. You're going to have New Home run it a lot. It'll be interesting to see kind of those two contrasting styles, kind of how that plays out in the ball game. And as we talk about, Chance, keys to the game, and some of this comes from what Jagger and Dre kind of talked about, but start fast. We've been good at starting fast. We've started games really well, but avoid that kind of mid-game lull that allows the team back in it. Keep your foot on the gas, I think, is verbatim what Jagger said. Don't beat yourself. You're not going to win on the road with turnovers, penalties, sloppiness. You won't win on the road. And then, Chance, one thing we've done really, really well, we've gotten stops when we need them.
Yeah.
We haven't been an airtight defense. We've given up lots of yards. We've given up quite a few points. But it seems like when we've had to have a stop, we've been able to dial it up.
You definitely have been able to dial it up, and that's something that offensively, Ty, you want to have that quick strike offense because, kind of looking at defensively what New Home has done, they allowed 63 rushing yards on 29 carries. So very sound up front, and they only allowed 57 passing yards on 11 completions. So Roscoe was trying to run the ball heavily, so they have shown they can stop.
And you're a better team than Roscoe.
Yes, you are for sure. But
yeah,
you're also, it's probably going to be flipped. You're probably going to throw the ball over 20 times and maybe run it 11 to 15, maybe 20 times. You're going to be pretty balanced. We do throw it more, but you're going to be fairly balanced. Also, another key to the game, Ty, and we've done it all season, since starting in the scrimmages all the way through, whether it was, internal things, injuries, whatever it may be, you faced adversity. You're going to have to do it again for the remainder of the season. You lose 2 guys early on. Then, we lose Case, and now you lose Colt. And every guy that you lose is hard, and it's hard to replace somebody. But Colt was the guy, like you said, Mr. Consistent. And you're going to have somebody step up, or you're going to have running back by committee step up because even though you're probably going to throw the ball around, you have to be able to run the ball in any game to control the clock, to give yourself the opportunity to give Jagger that time. Because if they know you're just going to step back there and throw it, they're just going to send the guys off the edge and go after you every single time if there's no threat of a run game. So,
and Chance, I'm putting out a bold thought here. If Abernathy gets the win against New Home, a big play late in the game is going to be a Jagger Wiley run. He doesn't do it much, but they've got that design draw that kind of has caught teams off guard, and he's not going to break it for 60 yards, but get a big first down, keep a drive moving, avoid punting the football as you're trying to run the clock out. It's little plays like that within a game that make a big difference.
Yeah, Jagger, he's very, not saying he slings it around like this, but very Patrick Mahomes-esque, where it's like, hey, nobody's open. I'm going to scamper for 7.
And he hadn't made bad throws.
And he hasn't. And the thing is, like, that's what he's done so far. Don't force it. Don't push it in there if you don't need to. Get to the outside, break contain, and run for 5 or 6 yards. And he's done that. I mean, usually every game, whether it's him getting a design draw like you're talking about, we do that 3 or 4 times a game, maybe 5. But then he's going to probably give you 3 or 4 more other rushes just getting out of the pocket and making something happen.
And even if it's just avoiding a sack and getting 5 yards on 2nd and 6 or something like that, just
3 yards.
Sets you up.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. I would agree with that, Ty. And also, you mentioned it. Going back to the running back in the running game, if you rush for close to 150 yards,
if you do that, I think you win the game.
You win the game, and if you hold them to probably under 200 yards rushing, maybe 100, you're going to probably win the ball game.
Have a chance to be successful.
And I think that, just like Coach Fortune said, and some of those O-line coaches are going to say, tough physical is going to win this game because that's what they're going to try to set the tone as. If you can match that and say, hey, we're here to fight with you right here in the trenches. If you can do that, I think you're going to be successful for sure.
And Chance, I don't think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think it'll be a defensive battle. I think you're going to see both teams able to put up some points in this one, and it might be who can outscore who with the contrasting styles. We'll see. So that's a look at New Home. It should be fun on Friday night, Chance. Grab your popcorn if you're not going to be there and tune us in. We'll have the broadcast for you again at 6:45, 7 o'clock kickoff from New Home, Texas. Let's talk a little bit about other games going on in the district, Chance, and we'll give you kind of how we think those will play out before we wrap things up this week on the program. You've got 14th ranked Post taking on the New Deal Lions in an intriguing first district match.
It's a tough one, Ty.
It really is, and I think I don't know what to make of Post.
I know.
And I don't know how healthy Post is. I know they're without their stud running back, but I know they've got other capable running backs. I know they had injuries to their center, which could be a big thing. Some guys on your line as well. Those guys may be back. I'm not really sure the status of some of those. I know Post has dealt with some injuries as well, though. Maybe a big reason they kind of slipped up against Farwell. I don't know. But New Deal, it's an opportunity for the Lions. They've been able to stay healthy. It's an opportunity for them to show that they're a contender if they can compete with the Bold Gold.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's one of those games, Todd, that they've probably been preaching to them all week. If I can hear Matt Hill, he's probably been telling them, hey, you missed the playoffs last year. That's not what we do as New Deal Lions. I can hear him saying all these things, having flashbacks, being in the locker room. But again, just like Abernathy has their tradition, New Deal has that tradition of making the playoffs, going for that district title. And I think that that's something that they're going to come in hungry. They've gotten beaten up. You play a tough – I think New Deal's schedule was tougher than Post outside of Slayton. I think that New Deal has played some stout competition. So I think that they're both battle-tested. Post, I think I'm going to give them the edge just based on their quality of work. And I think that New Deal is going to not mix things up enough, and Post is going to kind of win the trenches. So I Post winning 28-20. It may be a 35-20, but I think it's going to be kind of close, but Post is going to do enough to get the victory.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chance. I think the Bold Gold, I think they get a big lead and then kind of just grind it out from there. I've got 35-21, the Bold Gold knocking off the New Deal Lions. Chance, I don't know what to expect in Post New Deal. I don't know what to expect in Abernathy New Home. I know exactly what to expect in Olton and Floydada. Yeah. And I feel like we rag on Floydada, but it's just been a tough road to hoe for the Whirlwinds. They're taking on an Olton team, Chance, and I don't see any way that Floydada wins this game or really is even in this game. I've got the Olton Mustangs 49-6 over the Whirlwinds.
Yeah, I got the Mustangs kind of rolling 48-6 as well, and I'm not even sure if Floydada will put up that 6. I mean, Olton won their last game against Vega 28-0. They may not get to 48, Ty. I know the spread's probably pretty big, but I just I hate it for Floydada. You always want teams to be competitive, but I know they're just kind of having a tough year, kind of off of last year too. And last year, Ty, it was more injuries. I know for sure because they kind of competed early on, and then they had some injuries this year. Don't know. Not an insider for Floydada, but it's been a tough one for him.
And don't sleep on Olton. Olton is a team.
New coach.
They're not world beaters. They've struggled at times in the non-district, but unlike Floydada, I don't know that you can play really bad and beat Olton. Olton is at least capable of pulling an upset or two in this district.
For sure. And I say new coach, it's their OC that took over this year as coach, and I think he's trying to mesh his style with what they were used to and also some young guys. And so they're a team that could get hot, and I think they're going to vie for that fourth place, that playoff spot. Possibly, but you're correct. I think that they'll have no problem with Floydada, but they're a team that you really don't want to look past when you come up against them, for sure.
Then we've got the Antelopes and the Leopards, and you've got two teams that are ranked in the top 25, 26, according to most computer polls here. And Chance, it's worked for me all year. Reverse psychology. That is my goal. Just I want it to be known. If we win, it's because I picked against us.
That's right.
I do think that it will be a high-scoring ball game. I'm going with New Home simply because it's at New Home. Yeah. I feel like if this game was at Abernathy, I might flip my pick here. I truly think this is a toss-up. I'm a little nervous. When you go on the road, you never know what you're going to run into from an officiating standpoint or things you can't control. However,
just the environment. We've never played at New Home. This is only our second time to play them.
And you're playing at a place that they know how to win.
Yeah.
New Home wins. And so I've got the Leopards winning their fifth straight and beating the Antelopes 35-27. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I hope you're wrong too, Ty. And I think the Lopes are they're going to keep battling that adversity. They're going to keep powering through. You're going to have some guys step up in the rushing attack, and those guys up front are going to be able to maybe not control the line of scrimmage, but they're going to be able to play tough enough to give Jagger some time and get us some rush yards. I see us coming out on top 34-27, and I think it's gonna come down to the wire, which it did last year, and I think it's going to be one of those plays, a Jagger Wiley rush, a pass to get us a first down.
Turnover, something. Yep.
Something. And we've had that all year, and I think our guys are going to continue to step up and battle because it's been a season of adversity. I think we're going to go out there and start the season off strong on Friday night.
I am absolutely here for it, Chance. And like I said, if this team somehow puts it together and makes a run at a district championship, what a story that would be for the Abernathy Antelopes. I think there's little room for error.
Yeah.
There's little room for injury. There's little room for a lot of things. But
you're playing with house money.
You really are.
But sometimes that's when you're the most dangerous.
That's, hey, the gamblers that win big, They get some house money, they play with it, and they strike the jackpot.
That's right. And, and we talked about this. It's kind of like the little engine that could. Mm-hmm. We just keep going. And I remember, and we may have talked about this last year when we interviewed Bryson, and he talked about that first year he was a freshman. You weren't blowing people out of the water. You just kept winning. You just kept winning games. And before you knew it, they find themselves in the regional semifinals or whatever it was. It's like, how did we get here with the freshman quarterback?
Are we really that good?
You know what I mean? But it was just like you kept finding a way. You kept making the play. And not saying this team is comparable to that team by any means, but that's kind of the adversity that you faced, injury after injury, just internal things, and being able to face all that and go out there and still win on Friday.
And every week, Chance, I'm like, okay, we're bound to have a letdown. This is going to be it. We're not going to play well. If there's one thing we've done,
answer the call.
We have played consistent. Mm-hmm. We've kind of been the same team week in and week out. Now, obviously, you didn't beat Littlefield, but you were right there. You didn't play bad. Mm-hmm. You played well against Farwell. I do think you are a little more battle tested than New Home.
Yeah.
That could play a factor in this one as well. I think your competition outside of Liberty for them has been better overall. So yeah, we'll see. It should be a fun one on Friday night.
It's going to be a fun one. Also, a reminder: if you are going to the game, they are a cashless host, so got to buy your tickets online prior to the game. So be there Friday night in New Home, 7:00.
As we wrap things up, Chance, next week, we plan to be live from Code 3, 6 to 7. Come see us on Wednesday night, 6 to 7 o'clock, live for outside the box. Hopefully we're chatting about a 1-0 start in district play. We'll look back at New Home, and we will also look ahead to the New Deal Lions. We'll take a look around AISD this week in sports. Should be a fun show. We might get some interviews for you as well. No school on Monday.
Just a reminder.
Don't show up to school. Now, teachers will be there.
Yep.
They're having parent-teacher conferences and different things going on at the school on Monday, but no school for students on Monday.
Friday, pep rally, pink out. Make sure your kids are ready to go wearing their pink and support.
My son will wear his one pink shirt that he's got.
Ty, come on. Let's go to Walmart.
Go low.
Snacks and
hey,
pink.
he can wear it. Hey, we have a day to get it washed. It's okay.
Just, make sure. That's Barrett's one pink shirt.
Hey, he's got some stuff to put in your hair, too.
There you go.
So there you go.
Fun stuff.
Okay. Well, let's go beat New Home on Friday. I'm here for it.
I'm there for it, too, Ty. It's going to be an exciting one. Your quest for your, what did I say it was, 29th playoff appearance and your possible 21st district championship starts on Friday.
Good night.
God bless.
And go Lopes.